Hi guys, welcome to the flight this evening as we are with the Southwest Freedom 1, the 737-800. Going to be going from Denver down into the lovely Telluride. Now we're coming in for 09 on the localizer approach, using VNAV on the way down, going for flight level 280, and it should be a lovely flight today as we do a nice high altitude airport. So if you enjoy the flights, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave your comments down below for any future flights you'd like to see. And now we get inside the aircraft and start up ready for our departure. Okay, so we're in the lovely Freedom 1 737. You can see that we get the luminous green Avitab along with it. So we'll go for our free flight checklist. We'll go overhead now. We'll get the battery on and guarded, standby power is guarded, and ground power is on. We go to bat and ground power. After that, we've got left fuel pump, which we've already got our pumps in and everything, which is all good for us today, so we can get the APU all started. Once the APU gen comes on, then we can switch it over, which will be SAP. From there, we can put our position lights, which can go to steady, which are checked. Put our logos on for the fun of it, even though we don't need them. Emergency lights can be armed, which are SAP. Passenger signs can go on, and no smoking, which is SAP. After that, we get the IRS mode selectors all ready to go, so stick them both to nav. We'll go overhead. We've got quick align on, so we can test the flaps, test the speed warning, test flight recorder. Stalls will come on after, and we can go into the next part of our checklist. So we'll go down into the FMC. We get all of our panels lit now, so we can see some lovely lights. Go down onto the radio panel, and we'll get down onto the MCP, and we'll light up all of our lights today, as we don't really need a lot. So we can get them in just like that. There we go. So that's all good for us. We'll get the yoke back as well. We'll go down into the FMC now and get everything all set for us to leave. So leaving out, we'll get the position in, which is Kilo Delta Echo November. Go down into the left GPS. Get that all set in as we go from KDEN. So you can see the irises are now aligned. So we're going to Telluride, which is Kilo Tango Echo X-ray. On our departure route, we are going to be leaving out of runway 26, and from 26 we are going to be taking the Rocky 5. So for our transition, we are going to be transitioning from Montrose, which is the Mike Tango Juliet. As we can see, we're just going to go down towards Mike Tango Juliet. I'm not going to take it all the way down to Dunf Creek. So from there we've got 26, which is already in, so we're going to our route now. So from Montrose, we're basically going to go then direct to Echo Tango Lima, which will be direct, and then from there, coming in for the arrival, we're going to be coming in for the localizer approach. The glide slope on, we are going to be transitioning for Echo Tango Lima, so we can activate that in. Go into our legs now, have a look at the plan as we come out. So we're going to leave out from Denver, we'll go through Telluride. Once we come down past Montrose, we're then going to follow it down to the Echo Tango Lima, where we're going to make that left hand turn, and we'll come down in for the runway ready for us to go. So that is the arrival, and then we'll follow it all the way down. As we can see on the arrival here is the arrival as we come down. So basically going to hit cones, go on to the 108, then we go to Hodlow, and then from Hodlow at 12,000 we'll come down to 11,500 feet. We use VNAV as well as we're coming down, so we use the localizer and VNAV coming down on this localizer approach. We've got a 3.62 degree glide path, so we get the aircraft all ready for us today. So it should be a fun flight, as we've got the Freedom 1 in as well. So as we go in, we can get everything all set. So we've got our route, which is all in. We'll go over to our perf, get that all ready. So on our fuel, we've got 7.8 on the fuel, and we're only going to be taking today 6, so that gives us 1.8 reserves. On cost index, we've got 11. Going for a flight level of 240, which we can go and set over on our landing panel. So 240, which is set. Get our ISOs as well for the departure, 306049. Okay, which is set. And -20. Okay, 18,000 will obviously be transition. Going for N1, we'll take full takeoff. We're going for a climb 1, which will be set. Take flaps 5, we're going for 143, 145 and a 150. We'll get our winds out of Denver 330 at 03. Okay, which is set. Climb 1, as we can see, acceleration height. I'm going to cut back on 1200 feet. So we'll put our V speeds back in, we've got 143. Okay, so flaps are all in, 150, we've got 263 which is coming out as we leave out of the runway. We're going to take a little 26 coming out so we can blast out like a nutter. So we're going to be coming out on the 243 once we leave out, and for our altitudes we are going to be coming through, so we can go all the way up to flight level 240. Okay, 240 which is set. We can go and get our elevation for the landing, which is going to be 9,070. Okay, so I'm going to leave it for 9001. I can now switch over the buses now, get the APU gen alive as we come to the APU gen. Go back to the rest of our checklist. So transponder can be set, which we've checked. We can quickly go ahead and test the APU, which we should have done just before we left out. So that's all fine. We've got the overheat detection. Which is cool. We'll test the cargoes, which are all set as we're now getting ready to go. So TCAS transponder is stable and set to standby, indicated airspeed. So we're going to be going out for 150 on V2, heading for the takeoff runways 263. As we head out, we're going to be going to Montrose, and on for Montrose we are going to be wanting here the 117.1. Okay, which is setting, which will be leaving out of, which will be coming down onto the 219. Okay, so 219 and 219, which is also set. So from there we've got our initial altitude, which is set. We have got 240, which is all set, going straight up. Landing altitude set for 9,070, put at 9,100. Flight directors can now be turned on, which are checked. From there we've also got the minimums REF and everything that we're going to get. Auto brake can be set to RTO. Com radios are set. We've got a Montrose in for the 117.1 and doors are closed. So now we are all ready to go. We can go and close the doors. Get the GPA 3031, which is in and set for our altimeter. So we'll go get everything all set. Your then can now go on. We can get all of our pumps on, which are checked. Go to TR1. We can get the window heats on, which are now set and checked. We can get the packs to auto. The trim air can now be set with the isolation valve, which is open. APU bleed is on now. Engine bleeds are off, and we are pretty much all set for our pushback. So we'll go ahead and call the tug. We'll just reset our standby instrument, and then we can call him to push us back, ready to get out on our way to Telluride. Okay, so tug is now going to come and get us before we leave out today. So we've got 240 in, 1263, which is on our runway heading. We've got max banks 25 degrees, which is checked before our start checklist. We've got the auto throttle, which is now armed. We've got left and right center fuel pumps, which are all set and checked. Got 0 in center. Electric hydraulic pumps can now come on, which are checked. Any collision light can go on, which is also checked. Parking brake is set, ground equipment is clear, and engine area is also clear. Secondary display unit is engine now for engine start checklist. We can turn the packs off as it's going to lift us up, and then we're all ready to go.
Alright, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Temperature temperature 16 degrees, so we can leave the anti-ice off now. We've got the probe heats on after engine start.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Toes connected, bypass pins inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Okay, parking brake released.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Okay, so before start checklist, secondary display unit is engine, which is checked. We can go overhead now. Packs are off, so we'll go ahead and get engine number 2 to ground. Can see start valves open now. Oil temperature, about oil pressure will come to life. 25% N2 with an inject fuel, and then we'll get the aircraft all ready to go. So we've got engine number 2 now come over, the starter has come back, so we'll go for engine number 1. Start valves are open now. You can see the oil temperature and our oil pressure has come to life. 25% N2 will inject fuel. Okay, so engine number 2 now has come back over. So, go ahead. Generators 1 and 2 now can be switched over, which are checked. Probe heat can now come on, which is also checked and set. Anti-ice and wing anti-ice.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Parking brake can now be set. If we can get it to set. For some reason it doesn't want to set. I don't know if it's the I don't know if I need to get a new joystick or not, but we'll just hold it until he starts to put us down. Okay, so as the tug now disconnects us, engine start switches can now go to continuous, which are checked. Packs can now go back to auto. The isolation valve can go to auto. We can get the engine bleeds on with the APU bleed. We'll switch over onto the gen, so now we can turn the APU off. We've got the engine start switches, which are now continuous, and we're all set to go. Gas can now go to TA. As tug's now getting ready to leave, visibility isn't all that good today. Coming down into Telluride, wings 13006, 3053, and the temperature is 14, dew point of 1. So, tug's now gone. We are all set. We can drop into our flaps 5 setting. So we're all ready now and set to go for the airport. We're going to taxi on down to 26, as I didn't see 26 up here. I thought 25 was mistaken for 26. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically come round and we'll just come out onto Foxtrot, take a right down Zulu, left onto Lima, and then we'll come round, or we'll just spin a U-turn here and come down onto Lima, and then we'll take a right onto Romeo, which will take us all the way up to 26. So we'll release the parking brake, get our taxi checklist. So we're going to taxi to 26. We've got taxi lights, which can now be turned on, which are set. We can now get the cabin crew ready that we are going to taxi.
Show when you are.
All ready to go. So we can release the parking brake, start to power on up now, as we'll do our
Ladies and gentlemen,
180
welcome aboard.
degree
This is
U-turn
your
now.
flight attendant speaking. At this time, please be sure to make sure all large carry-on items are in the overhead bins and your small items are underneath in front of you. If you have any trouble or need any assistance, please don't hesitate to let a flight attendant know, and we would be happy to help you. If the overhead bin is full after you put your carry-on inside of it, please close the bin as a courtesy to other passengers. Once all your items are put away, please clear the aisle and sit down in your seat to allow other passengers to find their seats as well. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please read the exit seating responsibilities in the safety card in the seat back in front of you. Please make sure you are willing and able to perform the actions required. If you are not able or prefer not to perform these actions, please let a flight attendant know so you can be reseated. Feel free to use your cell phones during the rest of the boarding process, but we do ask that laptops, tablets, and any other larger electronic devices are stowed once we depart from the gate. Thank you, and welcome aboard.
Okay, so we're going to taxi on down now to runway 26.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 504. Our flight time will be roughly 42 minutes. Now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your large devices are now shut down and stowed.
Okay, so we'll be taking
Please
a left
fasten your seatbelt and
onto...
make sure that all tray
We'll
tables
take a left
and
onto
seat backs are in a
Mike.
full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare cabin for departure.
So we can get our yoke back as well, so you guys can see the controls.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your complete attention to the flight attendants as they demonstrate the safety features of our aircraft. You will notice a light illuminated above your seat. When this light is illuminated, please fasten your seatbelt low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight as you may experience unexpected turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor-level lighting will guide you towards the exit. In the event that the cabin loses pressure, an oxygen mask will drop right in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth and secure the elastic band behind your head. Tighten the straps if necessary
So we're going to take
and
Mike,
breathe
which will
normally.
be the
Although the bag
second
does not
left.
inflate, oxygen is flowing through the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask first and then assist others. Leave your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it's safe to remove it. In the unlikely event of a water landing, a life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Flip it over your head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tighten. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If your life vest
So we're
is
going to
not
taxi on
inflate
up Mike,
automatically,
and then we'll take a
blow
right
into the
on
mouth
to
tube
Romeo,
for manual
go down to the
inflation.
end, we'll line up for
This vest is
26 and get
equipped
ready
with
to
a whistle
blast on
and
it.
light. If necessary, your seat cushion can be used as a secondary flotation device. Pull the cushion from the seat,
So we
put your
can
arms through the
pre-arm
straps
the
and hug the
L now,
cushion to your chest.
as we are going to come out
Stow
on
your
L
personal
now.
items.
As we're
Make
not
sure
there,
your
we
seatbelts
can't
are fastened
actually
and seat backs and
engage
tray
you, so
tables
wait
are in
till
their
we get to
full
the runway.
upright position. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is prohibited by law. All of this information can be found in the safety card located in the seat back in front
So
of you.
we are ready
Please read
to
it and let a
make
cabin
our
member know if you have
right-hand
any
turn.
questions. Thank you for flying with us again, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Okay, second right. So, as we can see, okay, so we're taxiing up to runway 26 now. 100% on full takeoff. Gonna come out and climb 1, which we do need to just check as well as we come out. I just want to make sure on 1200 on the cutback, which is fine. Go all the way to the end now, ready for runway 26. So we are set now. As we come up to the hold line. So what we can do is we can do a rolling takeoff. So as we come up now, then we're coming out as we see onto the 243. So we can get our runway turn-offs on, and taxis can go off now, strobes can go on as well, which are set and checked. Get our seatbelts set one last time with the no smoking. Tell cabin crew to get ready now for our departure. Coming out on head and select, and then obviously LNAV will be injected after 400 feet, as it won't activate as we are off from the path. If it's off by so many degrees, then LNAV will not activate. So we'll come around on this left hand turn. Strobe's already on and set, ready for the departure. Auto brake is set to RTO. All we need to do now is just get our landing lights on, and then we're all ready to blast out of the runway. So just one final check as we get the trim back, okay, which is set for us. So cabin crew, take your seats for departure. Okay, so we're ready to go now on runway 26. So we'll line up. As we'll keep the aircraft rolling, we'll go overhead now. We can put our landing lights, which are on and set. So we'll power up to 40%. Forward pressure on the yoke. And toga. Airspeed live. knots. Check. Throttle hold. Got a little bit now. D1. Rotate. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. That's a red can now be turned off. 400. Checked. LNAV can now be engaged. As we make that left hand turn, we can now bug up to our flaps up. As we start that speed out now. 1000. 1000 checked. So we go to acceleration speed. As we make that left hand turn now, we're coming around onto the 243, which is also set. Gear can now be turned off, coming out. Can now turn our runway turn-offs can go off. Engine start switches can go off now. As we make that trim up to the left, and then we're going to ring round to the right. There we go, to a flaps bomb. As we get ready to make that right hand turn now, on to 243. Let's come up to our flaps up speed now. So as we come up now onto that right hand turn, just holding our flap speed, so we can now go to flaps up, we can engage the VNAV. As we continue that right turn out of a lovely Denver today. Okay, so we'll speed up for 250. So coming out of the runway today, back onto the 243. After takeoff checklist, we've got positive rate of climb, gear is up and off, which is checked, flaps are retracted, no lights. Runway turn off lights are off and checked, taxis are off, and cabin lights are good to go. Engine start switches are also off too. Going up to 250 now, let me just ease back on the controls, give a little bit of trim. As we're passing through 9,000 feet, just holding for 250 now. As we can now turn the landing lights off. Okay, which is set. So quite a nice departure. We'll put the TCAS on in just a second, for the transponder. So as we pass through over 10,000 now, we'll slow down to go down to our climb speed or acceleration speed, we'll call it. So we'll just lower the nose just slightly, still to increase our ascend up. And now we'll start to speed up to our 209 or 289. Still on the 243, so what we can do is we can turn on the autopilot now. And we can catch a lovely wing view as we burst out of the cliff.
Not form a line near the lavatory. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. You will be required to pay a small fee if you wish to access it. We do offer complimentary in-flight TV thanks to our partners. Connect to the Wi-Fi and you'll be able to access our wide range of free live TV and paid movies library.
Okay, so coming up now through 13,008 on for our climb out checklist. CMDA is on and checked. Our tims are passing 18,000 feet, will be set to standard, which will be 29902, which will be also set and checked. And then from there, we've got our landing lights, which are off, passing 10,000. Seatbelt signs can now go off, which are set and checked. And the centre fuel pumps as required, which are also off. So that is it now for our departure, guys. So we'll go to our takeoff cinematics, and then once we get back, we can come in for our top of descent, ready to come in for a lovely Telluride on the localizer approach for runway 09. So got the wing anti-ice on there as we just pass through 16,000. So don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Leave your future comments down below in the flight section, and I'll see you when we get back for our top of descent, ready to come down into a lovely Telluride for the localizer approach for 09 in the lovely Southwest Freedom 1 livery. So I'll see you guys when we get back. feet by the time we hit onto Hodlow. We'll be coming down for our initial fix. We're going to get the Collins VOR, which is 110.2. Okay, which is set. We'll come in and get the localizer, which is going to be the 109.3. Okay, which is also set and preset. So we're coming down now on the 222. We're going to be coming down for 12,000 feet. Which is also going to be set. There's our top of descent coming in. We can turn the terrain on as we get ready to come down into lovely Telluride today. So down on the QNHs, we've got 1032, which is currently updating on the weather. It is currently 3025. As we now get ready to make that left-hand turn to the Echo Tango Lima on the 202. Okay, which is set. Coming in for the localizer, which is offset by 3 degrees, is the 093. Okay, which is set. And the 093, which is also set on both sides now. As we start our descent, can open up the speed brake, go to our descent checklist. As we descend through flight level 230. Coming in on our speed, we see 208 at Hodlow, 12,000 above, and for there we are, going to be all ready to go. So 12,000 as we come down, speed take control now. As we're coming down through flight level 210, we're going to be taking an auto brake number 3. We can go in and get our speeds in as we everything. So 67.9, we're looking to have around when we come down 5.5 to 5.6, so it's only 0.1. Okay, flaps 30, 151. +5 as the wind down on the runway is only going to be 130.06. So we can +6 there, which will then give us a 157 going through flight level 200. We've got 12,000 set in. So here's the plan of the approach as we come down. You can see here on our legs we are going to be coming down for the Echo Tango Lima, which is the Cones VOR, which we can see that we've got right here. We are 21 nautical miles away. From there, we're basically going to make that left-hand turn, which will then basically take us all the way down onto 108 for Hodlow, 12 DME from the localizer, and then we'll be coming down. So we are all set. Only authorised operators may use a VNAV, so we're going to use VNAV coming down on the localizer today. Passing through 18,000 feet on 3025. Okay, which is also set, which we can now switch over, 3025.
The flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seat and fasten your seatbelt.
3025, which is set. Coming down for our minimums, we've currently got 1134.
Your destination. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in a full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you. Please complete all Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any larger electronics.
So passing through 11. We've got currently 11340. Coming up speed brakes. Okay, so there's 11340 coming down now as we pass through 16,400 feet on our way to lovely Collins. We will then go on to the 108. So what we can do is we have a speed window now as we start coming down, currently 10 miles. So we'll slow down to 230. Speed brakes open. By the time we go onto that left-hand turn, we can then start to think about getting the localizer in. As we see, we've got localizer there, the 109.30. 130. And forward heading, which is 093, which is set. So down on for our descent. Let's get the ILS as well, 1093, which is also in and checked. Coming down now 14,000 feet. On for our descent checklist, we have currently got. So engine instruments are monitored for the anti-ice. We've got wing anti-ice, which is on and checked. Landing altitude is set for 910 for 970. Recall, which we can do now, which is set and checked. Auto brake is set for number 3. Over on our speeds, we've got 250 under 10,000, coming down for 14,000 feet. Now obviously 9,000 is down for the runway, so we'll get everything all configured there as we come down through 13,009. We can see there is our left hand turn as we come down, so we'll switch over the localizer as we're going to go into that left hand turn onto the 093. So we can open up the speed brake now. As we are now, we're going to get ready to descend. So we can open up flaps 1, just get the aircraft ready. As we bring the control column back over now, ready for our arrival down into the runway. So we are going to run around with the localizer, and we're going to use the VNAV path coming down. So we go down to our flaps 1, okay, which is set. Go down onto the 108 now. Okay, which is set. 12,000. As we're now going to descend down through down to our minimum, so 11,500 feet is where we're going to start down to. 14 DME out from the runway. As we continue down 12,008. So what I'm going to do now is we're starting to get the landing lights on and to get everything all configured. So we've got our start switches, which are continuous. We've got the auto brake set for number 3. We've got the QNH is set for 3025, which are cross-checked on either side. We're coming down on for our 157. Which got 3.62, 157 is going to be around about 1,000 feet per minute. So we're going to want to get ready and set for Zagbu, where we're going to start that descent down. Zagbu now is currently going to be just around 5 nautical miles away, so we can take off the terrain, so we can see the runway which is in sight. Now we are getting ready now to come in. Got the 093 which is set. We can now start to come down to flaps 5, which is also set. We're going to start to descend down, 1,000 to go, so we get down to 11,500
1,000 to go.
Set that in. We'll go down to our minimums, which is 11,300. Okay, which is set.
1,000 to go.
And from 11,500, we're then going to start that descent down. Missed approach point, so 2-3. So as we start to come down now, the aircraft's going to get ready to go. So we're currently at flaps 5. Let's go down into that descent. So there we go now, we're going to start the descent down. So what we can do, as we've got the airport in sight, we're offset by 3 degrees, so we can go for a flaps 15, get down. Okay, flaps 15, gear down. Okay, SEPEX is the missed approach point, as we're going to be coming down now on forward VNAV. So on for our minimums, what we can do here is, as we've got our minimums set, we can disconnect the autopilot and we'll disconnect the auto throttle, and now I have control of the aircraft. So we've got speed brake which is armed now, we're flying it visually as we come down onto the runway. Minimums continue as we now come down into our flaps 30 and we start our descent down. Okay, so we're just holding our speed now, 150, we need to get back to 157. There's 2 red, 2 white. Come back down for 1,000 feet. Auto brake set. Landing gear is down, 3 green, and we are all configured. Auto brake is armed as well. 2 red, 2 white. Put max auto brake now, just so we can slow down. Okay, so I would ignore the pull-up warnings. Holding 150, and we'll just give it a little bit of speed now, so we can get in. So we have got a runaway runway. This gradient.
50, 30, 10.
Okay, so we need to follow down with it. Okay, so reverses are active. And speed brakes are on. Check. Rudder's going to be stowed. Okay. Auto brake can be disarmed now. As we get ready to taxi off of the runway. And welcome to Tel Aviv. It was a little bit steep on the descent.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. The local time is 6:49 a.m.
Okay, speed
and
brakes
it's
can be
currently about
retracted.
14
Flaps can also be
degrees
retracted as well.
Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins, as items may have been shifted during the flight.
Okay, so we made that left turn off of the runway now. Flaps are fully retracted. We get the APU set up in just a few moments' time.
Check your itinerary to ensure a smooth continuation of your journey.
Okay, so what we can do now, guys, is we'll go to our landing cinematics as we get ready to go to the gate for lovely Telluride. So don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, if you enjoyed tonight's flight. And I'll see you get back. Take care for now. I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.